I call to order the Westlake City Schools Special Board Meeting for Monday, July 7th, 2025. Roll call.
Kraft.
Here.
You're not.
Here.
Fanukin.
Here.
Lamb. Present. Lizinski.
Here.
And would everyone stand and join me to say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As we gather tonight, we recall our mission. We educate for excellence, empowering all students to achieve their educational goals, to direct their lives, and to contribute to society, as well as our vision. The Westlake City School District will provide a dynamic, student-centered learning environment. Our district will be characterized by high achievement, actively engaged learners, mutual respect, shared knowledge, pursuit of new skills and capabilities, collaborative learning, willingness to take action, a team commitment to data-driven continuous improvement through our strategic planning process, and tangible results. It's wonderful to see everyone. Thank you for being here tonight and welcome to the district. I move to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Kraft.
Yes.
Lizinski.
Yes.
Fanukin.
Yes.
Lamb. Yes. You're not.
Yes.
Motion carries.
At this time, we have a hearing of the public. The public may address the board during the periods of the meeting designated for public participation. We, the Board of Education, do not engage in a public debate and especially do not have a public discussion about individual student situations in this setting. Each person addressing the board shall give their name and address. If several people wish to speak, each person is allotted 3 minutes until the total time allotted is used. During that period, no person may speak twice until all who desire to speak have had the opportunity to do so. Period of public participation may be extended by a vote of the majority of the board present and voting. If you'd like to address the board, now is the time to do so. We are going to move on to superintendent's recommendations. Dr.
Great.
Goggin?
Thank you very much. I would like to start by thanking our Board of Education. This is the time of year where we have to complete our staffing. For those who may be watching in our community, the way it works in education is, or at least in public education, is July 10th is a big day. So we can hire up until the first day of school, but when it comes to the date of July 10th, is if we move to hire anybody after the 10th, then they would have to be released from any district that they're working in. And we've run into it before where districts won't release employees after that time. I typically don't. I would usually let people go. However, we're really getting into a different market when it comes to teacher shortages, leadership challenges, and those kind of things, where I would be really concerned that if we did move for employment after the 10th, people on this list wouldn't be available and they would not be made available. So I greatly appreciate the board. They actually set up a special meeting. This is not on their calendar. This is done specifically for the folks here. And I really appreciate you adding this meeting to your schedule because we actually have a work session next Monday. So we will try and be respectful of time. So the purpose for today is to introduce and hire some new employees. And on our agenda, we have an administrative employment. We also have a licensed staff member as well as 2 long-term substitutes. The letter E, when you look at 3E, that's a resolution to approve some of our classified staff who've actually already been working in our extended school year program. So we thought it would be appropriate to add them now instead of waiting till the end of the month. So let's get started. The first person that I would like to introduce is Colin Bryant. So Colin, if you can come up to our podium, you could stand there awkwardly while we talk about you. And so we kind of had a little bit of shuffling that happened inside the district. Our middle school principal, DJ Shaw, is taking a position at his alma mater, Keystone High School. We're grateful for everything he did for us, and we're excited for him to be able to go home and work inside his community. That led to a position opening where we moved Brittany Mechka, who was an assistant principal at our high school, took over for DJ. And then Nick Rinaldo, our athletic director, went over and took over for Brittany, which left us with an opening in for our athletic director position. Colin is an intervention specialist with the Avon schools. He also has been shadowing their athletic departments to kind of get insights. Eric Fraumbach has been the longtime athletic director there, so a really great person to be able to pick up the right characteristics and the right way of going about running an athletic department. And he also, I believe, is wide receivers coach with the football team. And he's here with his wife and his daughter. So Colin, if you want to take a moment and introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I am Colin Bryant. First off, want to thank you, board, for being here tonight. As Dr. Goggin already mentioned, I appreciate you guys being here and welcoming me and my family. And Dr. Goggin, Todd, I want to thank you guys for believing in me. I want to thank Rob Woods too, Nick Rinaldo, and also Carrie. She's here tonight. She's the glue of everything, so can't forget her. And just want to thank my daughter and wife, my wife Allison and daughter Amelia, just for supporting me and taking this next step in my career. It's really been a career goal for me and dream, and I think this is the right place to do it in a great community with the great support of you all. So I'm really excited to hit the ground running and continue to build my wardrobe and get some more green stuff. So
That's a year.
a tie was so I'm excited to continue it from there. And I'm really excited to get out, meet the kids, meet the coaches, and really become a important piece of the community.
Right. Welcome. We're very excited for you to be here. What a challenging position, but also community wide. What a beloved position as well. So we're excited for you.
Thank you.
And all that you bring to the table. Interested to hear about that intervention specialist, that background, how that molds you. Very, very happy to hear you're a family person, family man.
Yep.
That's good to hear as well, but we're excited for you and welcome.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm excited.
Good.
to get rolling.
Super.
And questions from any other questions or comments?
Oh, so you're not going to be coaching the wide receiver?
Oh, no. No.
Yeah, go ahead. I think about something that previous AD involved with corporate sponsorship.
Mhm.
And is that something that you will be involved with as well?
Absolutely. I've talked to Nick and, he has mentioned, reaching out to sponsors and stuff, how that's something that is top priority of things to do, reach out, connecting with everybody and going from there to renew and also to seek new ones. And, so that's definitely right at the top of the list of things I'm gonna be doing right away.
Yeah. And we look at that position that you lead that, and there are certainly folks in the community, if you want to build your team with regard to really any of that there are many out there that may have some context. So if we can help in any way, you say the word.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Super.
Any of your own personal sports history you want to share?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Lorain, Ohio. I was actually part of the merger when Emerald King and Southview came together. I was a junior. So first quarterback to get to throw a pass for the Lorain Titans.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool to be a part of. I went to Lake Erie College, played football there. I graduated after 3.5 years. I could have played a little bit longer, but I had a knee surgery tore my ACL my junior year, and it kind of really got me thinking about how I was excited to kind of move on to my career and how exciting that was for me. So I made that decision. I also was a baseball player in high school too. I should mention that. I was probably better at that than football, but football was my number one passion. I've been a part of wrestling as well. Actually, fun fact, I wasn't really good at it, but I did join the swim team for 2 years as well to try something new and get a job. It was by far probably the toughest sport. So, yeah, that's a fun fact about me too. I'm not even sure if my wife knows that about me. There's no highlights of that, I promise. And just to mention too, because he's very important to me, my grandfather was in education for many years. He was athletic director, a head coach, PE teacher, Chuck Bryant. Played football at Ohio State for Woody Hayes, was part of the 1961 national championship team. He had his rings and, would show everybody everywhere we were, but I had mentioned in interviews how important he is to me because I was able to see him build a life through education and the relationships that were so important to him, and just seeing people come up to him that he taught or coached 20 years, 25 years before that, and that how they remembered him. I really looked up to that, and he's a big part of why I'm here today.
Super, thank you.
Great. Good luck to you.
Thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
And it's nice because you have Carrie and then Nick.
Absolutely.
If you have any questions.
Absolutely. I'm excited about the team that's, around me and, going to be there to support me. So.
So another thing that really was great about Colin was even as we talk about our strategic plan next week, one of the things that parents really want to hear are positive stories and seeing a lot of different things coming out about our kids. And he also ran a good amount of the social media and publicity in Avon as well.
Mhm.
So he's skilled in that.
Yep, I take a lot of pride in promoting our student athletes, our coaches, just all the programs. I think it's a big part of, and I think the kids and parents truly appreciate that too, even if it's posting that, a happy birthday to their kid.
Great.
Just seeing their kid on, being represented by Westlake is really important to them, and they can take that then and show it to all their family. I think it's a big part of athletics and academics today, and promoting their success and really marketing them. So I'm excited to do that.
Super, great.
And
Anything
Rob
else?
Woods would have been here.
Yeah.
But the rain did hold off, and he's coaching his son's baseball team.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's why he
Nice.
had called earlier
Super.
and said I would be there with Colin, but
Yeah.
he is coaching his kid's
That's
baseball.
an important role.
Yeah.
It is.
Anything else for Mr. Bryant?
welcome to Westlake.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Now,
it.
he had the longest one. I don't see them covering the rest of you. I could see you guys kind of looking. Thanks, Colin.
I appreciate it.
Okay, the next person we'd like to bring up is, let's go Madison Hetzler. So Madison, come on up. Now, Madison is going to be coming into the high school to teach science. So if you want to take a minute and just say a little bit about yourself, Madison.
Yeah, hi, it's super nice to meet you all, and I really appreciate your time, making the time for us on this Monday evening. I grew up in the area, actually. I graduated from Keystone High School, and then after that I went to the University of Findlay, where I majored in biology, and then I went on to get my teaching license after that. So I just recently moved back to the area. Being from the area, I feel like I have a huge advantage. I've always understood the amazing reputation that Westlake City Schools has, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Thank you, thank you. Well, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Any questions for Madison? Former science teacher at the end, anything?
She looks like one of the high school kids.
I'm 23.
We just had this flu a couple of weeks ago and I looked out there and they all look so young, so you're not alone.
And
Thank you.
Mom's here, and Mom is
Yeah,
also
thank you.
elementary teacher at Keystone. I didn't catch who else.
Jill.
Okay, no, but,
And I'm Carter.
okay.
You know,
All right, nice. And his fiancée,
Congratulations.
Carter.
Thank you.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And she was, if you want to know, she was a catcher
Oh.
for Keystone. So there's that as well, since we were asking Colin about his days. We have a couple other people on our agenda. We have Taylor Barrett. So Taylor is coming in as a long-term sub, being able to fill in for the entire year in our Title I for reading intervention in our elementary school. So if you want to share a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you all for having me here. I appreciate your time and being here on a Monday night.
So I previously have taught Title I at a school back in Youngstown, Austintown Elementary. And then I was a fourth grade language arts teacher at Jackson Milton. However, I have relocated to the Cleveland area. I'm in Edgewater, thanks to my wonderful boyfriend, Andrew. So I appreciate him being here. So I'm very excited to join the team and be a part of Westlake.
Super.
So when we were looking at your information, I know we were talking about it and we are like, wait a minute, Lima's not near Youngstown, but is it North Lima?
North Lima,
Okay.
yes.
And North Lima is in that Canfield, was it Canfield or what's the area?
Near Canfield
right.
area, Boardman.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
thank you.
welcome and thank you both for being here.
Appreciate it.
Great,
You're back.
thanks, Tim. And we have Emily Matejchuk. Now, Emily's fun to talk about because she is a Westlake grad. We were saying 2018, is that what it was? And Mr. Maber actually had to go over to the elementary as she was working in Link to see if she wanted to accept this position. So she really, I think, maybe found out this morning.
Yes.
And yeah,
Wow.
so she found out this morning and had to probably finish her workday and run home and get changed and then get here by 6 p.m. So
Yes.
Emily, if you want to take a second, and oh, by the way, half day kindergarten and half day title. So that's what we have Emily coming in to do this year.
Well, thank you all for being here. I appreciate that. And growing up in Westlake and going to the schools, it was awesome. I enjoyed the experience. And then getting to sub with the school district was very, very eye-opening because all of the educators that I worked with are very wonderful people and I learned so much from all of them. So being able to be here full time and working with these groups of people that I know very well, very closely now that I'm here full time, I'm very excited to do that.
Super.
And in high school, what did you participate in anything?
I did basketball and then I threw discus for the track and field
Okay.
team.
Good.
Awesome.
All right. Any questions for Emily?
Welcome back. Thank you.
I don't think she's ever left.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Well, she went home and changed.
Well, now I will say, so we do have the, when we look, so with Colin coming in an administrative position and with Madison coming in as in a full-time teaching position, I will tell you that the long-term subs are an incredible way to get in. And I remember my wife, she's taught in Lakewood as an intervention specialist, and she was hired as a long-term sub, and she's been there now for 30 years. And I think we see that so frequently where people start one way, and that's one of the things that even my daughter, who is now in education, I would always advise her, get into the district you want to be in any way you can get in, and then don't let them let you go. And I think that's whether you come in as a teacher that's not on a subcontract or whichever way it is, it's getting in and then really getting with making relationships with your colleagues, the students, the families, and it takes it from there. So we're really excited to have all of you joining us. The only other item that we have is we have 2 classified members who are employees of ours, who we brought in, and they're helping us with our extended school year. We thought this would be a great opportunity to put them on the agenda as well, instead of waiting till the end of the month. But other than that, I do not have any other items, and if it's okay with the board, the only other thing on there is we do have some transition days for you, Colin, on here that I'm sure, Carrie, you come back. When don't you come back soon? It is August 1st. But we do have some transition days for you to come in and get your office ready, get the lay of the land and do that. So that's the only other agenda item that we have on here. So if it's okay with, did I miss something?
No.
Okay. If it's okay with the board, I would say 3A and B. Are those okay to put together since they both relate to Colin? All right. And then might as well do C on its own, D on its own, and then E on its own. And, just to give each person their own vote.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Is there a motion to approve superintendent's resolution recommendation 3A and B?
So moved.
Did you so move it?
I have
I'll second it.
Discussion? Roll call?
Here not,
Yes.
Lizinski.
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lamb. Yes. Motion carries.
Is there a motion to approve superintendent's resolution 3C?
So moved.
Second, discussion? Roll call?
I apologize, Mr. Kraft, did you second it?
I did.
Thank you. Fanukin,
Yes.
Kraft.
Yes.
Lamb. Yes. Lizinski,
Yes.
here not,
Yes.
motion carries.
Is there a motion to approve superintendent's recommendation 3D?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lamb. Yes. Here not,
Yes.
motion carries.
And I move to approve superintendent's recommendation 3E.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
For the record, I have Pure Not as the
I
second.
do too.
Kraft,
Yes.
Pure Not,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Lamb. Yes. Lizinski,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, now that concludes the voting part of this. You're all welcome to go get on with your evening. But I do want to emphasize again, if you are employed with another school district, you do need to submit your resignation prior to July 10th. So awesome. Well,
Welcome. And again,
Thank
thanks
you,
for being
everyone.
here tonight.
and we'll just continue with our meeting, but please don't feel like you're being rude if you get up and leave. Yeah.
And enjoy the rest of your summer.
Except for you, Colin, attended.
That's saying, am I still going?
Oh, yeah. I'm Lisa.
There goes on.
Board comments? Anything?
I would just like to publicly thank Cooper Pollock, who dressed up as our demon
Right
for
on.
the Fourth of July parade. He was ecstatic for the opportunity to do it and enjoyed every second of it. And thank you to him for doing that with us.
And as always, the kids on the parade route absolutely loved the demon and seeing the demon and just waving and whatnot. So
/ Goblin.
we need to get some banners that say Westlake Home is
Some
demon
say
for a
the
long.
devil.
So
They call him the devil.
Oh, my goodness.
Demon, not the devil.
it was the goblin and the monster this year.
Some looks on some of those younger kids' faces was interesting. Some were a little scared.
There's usually one.
And Brad's.
Most absolutely.
Well, I did have the opportunity after the parade. Our neighborhood had a bike parade for all the kids in the neighborhood. And I donned the demon outfit.
Yeah, that was you wearing
And
it?
went over there and waved and took pictures with some kids.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
I understand the fan battery needs to be replaced.
It's a warm outfit.
Gotcha. Right. Any other board comments? Yeah. Yeah, you look like you had a thought.
Nope.
No?
I
Okay.
do want to make a comment. I do know some people had reached out to advocate for public school education, especially with the budget, to the governor's office, whatnot. And I really do want to acknowledge their work and their advocacy.
And the governor for
Doing his line item vetoes.
vetoes.
I know. Here, here.
And to continue the advocacy for public school education, because it's not going to go away just.
So the point that I think, just to say it while we're being recorded and it's being published out there, is we as a district understand that, property taxes, revisiting that is not a bad thing. And it's something we would support. Major concern with us is the vast majority of the property tax items that were placed in the budget bill haven't been vetted. They were ones that haven't been researched. I think 9 of them were not in the research that was done by the legislators earlier, because they had a committee and they came up with suggestions and ideas. And many of the ones that were put in the budget bill were ones that were not researched. And so at least that's what I'm told. And the issue, if that's the case, is you don't know what the ramifications, short-term and long-term, are, or if you're truly going to get the benefits from those. And so that's why when the governor, not just coming out and drawing line item vetoes, but also said, let's put together a working group to actually look at property tax probably reform that would be beneficial for property tax owners, but also can be feasible. So I think that's something that I really appreciate that the governor did.
What do you think the outcome will be with them, the judge finding that the voucher system is unconstitutional? And I know it could take years, but do you think there'll be anything that'll come from that?
I don't. I think just, and again, I'm a school superintendent, I'm not an attorney, I don't know. But they may get the appeal and but I think if it gets to the state Supreme Court, that is a huge, you know, the way it's been described, it's like, you know, that really hard ending of a video game, like, you know, the big giant Donkey Kong that you can't get past.
Boss battle,
Yeah, that, what's that?
boss battle.
Boss battle. So whatever the boss battle is, that one as it gets to our Supreme Court would be a boss battle. It would be a very tough one to win.
Like climbing up a grease pole.
Yep. Because it's probably destined for there. Would
Yeah.
be, no matter which way it goes.
Other thoughts, other comments? Is there a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of an employee or official?
So moved.
Second, discussion? Roll call?
To enter into executive session 6:27 PM. Fanukin,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
here not.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Board will take no action in executive session nor when we exit executive session.
You're in executive session.